All right, folks, welcome to another White House press briefing with the Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. These are always awesome, action-packed, so let's see what we have today. And I'm not 100% sure if Jim Acosta is going to be in the room, but let's just see what's going to happen today at this White House press briefing. As you guys saw over the weekend, the fake news media tried to make fun of the president, say that, the attendance was overinflated, the number of people that were going to attend, and all this stuff. Even though there was a lot of issues, a lot of problems, protesters stopping patriots from coming in through the gates, a lot of patriots being turned around and told to go home, a lot of stuff that happened at that rally. And according to the fire marshal, the person that is involved of counting everybody that actually attended, said that there was less than 6,900 in attendance. Now that number cannot potentially be verified unless the Trump administration verified it themselves by counting heads as they were coming in. So we don't know yet if they have an actual number that has come out. They said that was in attendance. We're going to have to see if they actually counted that or not. But one thing that really did get us very angry is that the lists that they made, the list of number of people that actually saw it at home, online, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, other social media networks, or maybe on private or on websites, they counted everyone. They counted every single one of them except Golden State Times. It's as if the people that watched, the patriots that watched on Golden State Times, do not matter. It's like if we didn't exist. It's extremely unfair because we're talking about a conservative list that came out of how many patriots watched the Trump rally. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If left-wing networks and websites hate us, that is fantastic. That is exactly what we want. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. Everyone hates us. Breitbart hates us. The failures at Right Side Broadcasting hate us. Everyone hates us. But even if they hate us, then they hate me. That's okay. But not counting the patriots, the 200,000 patriots that watched the live stream and also the video upload after it was uploaded, that is what got us very angry over the weekend. Because they did not count your view. They did not count your attendance. They did not count you watching it live or you watching the video after it was uploaded. We were the only ones that uploaded the video. Everybody else just streamed it and uploaded it. We were the ones that actually uploaded the video after it was done for patriots that missed it, that had to work, or that were busy over the weekend. That video got 100,000 views. 100,000! That video alone, it's an hour and 45 minutes, and patriots, 100,000 patriots actually took the time to watch it. Longer than usual, too. So patriots watched either the whole thing or over half of that speech. It's unfair that they did not add you. It is unfair that they did not count you in. And it makes us very angry, and it gets me really sad, but angry more than anything else. That these assholes, both on the right and on the left, chose not to include you, your view, you tuning in, your share on social media of President Trump's rally. And that is extremely unfair. But I apologize on their behalf for them not counting you into their stupid number of people that supposedly watched the live stream of President Trump's rally. That's not the way it's supposed to be. On both sides, the right and the left, that's not how it's supposed to be. Everyone should be counted. We'll be switching over to the White House in just a few moments. The live stream has 100,000 views. The video upload has 100,000 views. That is where the 200,000 comes from. Merit. Alright folks, so we'll be switching over to the White House in just a few moments. We have a live footage of the White House, but we'll be switching over to the press briefing room in just a moment. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your stream of choice. We don't ask for much, folks, but what we do ask for is if you can please share the live stream on social media. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell if you're new. We're going to be switching over to the White House in just a few moments as we get ready to go for the White House press briefing. All right, folks, I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone that's sharing the live stream on social media. Also, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Thanks so much for your help and your support. I'd like to give a big thank you to Geeky Lizzie. Thanks so much, Geeky Lizzie, for your support. And she says, shared on all my social media accounts. Thank you so much for your help and your support once again. We also want to give a big thank you to Purple Dog 2 for your support. Michelle Battistone, thank you so much for your help and your support. Deb926, thank you so much for your help and your support. JD, thank you so much, JD, for your support. Patriot Gale, thank you so much for your help and your support. Gemini17, thank you so much for your help and your support. Brandon DeLeon, thank you so much for your help sharing the stream on social media. We also want to give a big thank you to Mitch LW. We will also like to give a big thank you to Magnumasak. Thank you so much for your help and your support. It says, please give a shout out to Faith115. She's a true fighter and a patriot. Well, thank you so much to Faith115 for your help and your support through Super Chat. Thank you so much for your help. Once again, Faith115 for your help. All right, so let's check on Twitter. Thank you so much to Greg Williamson for your support sharing the stream. We also have Maureen. Thank you so much, Maureen, for your support. Terry Hargrave, thank you so much for your help and your support. We also like to give a big thank you to Robert Keegan. Thanks so much, Robert Keegan. And Stephen Brown. Thank you so much, Stephen Brown, for your help and your support. We also want to give a big thank you to Dogmom3, Patriot Z, and Kajsidia124, thank you so much for your help and your support. Laura Scott, William Harrison, also Calendula 2016, Johnny Bratcher Music, Delano Sally, Kresnick, Old Man Stoner, and also Gary Somebody. Thank you so much for your help and your support sharing the stream. My Thoughts Exactly, Pirate GFX, Mayor Tuwasha, thank you so much for your help and your support. Kathy Dalton Little, thank you so much for your help and your support. George73, thank you so much for your help. Yukigal, thank you so much for your help and your support. Patricia Mauser, thanks for sharing the stream. Rexer P, thanks so much for sharing the stream. Catherine Denise Judson, thank you so much for your help and your support sharing the stream. Rode Gafford, I hope I said that right. RD Gafford, thank you so much for your help and your support. Sparky1833. Shelly, thank you so much, Shelly, for your support sharing the stream. Lexi for Trump, thank you so much for your help and your support. New World Sun, thank you so much for your help and your support sharing the stream. And I think that is it. Oh, here we go. Lynn DeFrank, thank you so much for your help and your support sharing the stream. And we want to give a big thank you to, let's see here. I think that's it for now. All right, folks, if you share the live stream on social media, we'll give you a shout out as a thank you for your help and your support. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at GoldStayTime. We want to give a big thank you to Ikalua. Thank you so much for your help and your support through emoji super chat saying #1 fan. Thank you so much once again for your help and your support. All right, folks, let me check why it's taking so long for us to get footage from inside the White House. I'll be back on the microphone and I'll let you guys know when we're switching over, and also we'll let you know if we have the hot mic on, so stay tuned. All right, folks, so we have footage from inside the White House press briefing room. Let's see here. All right, here we go. So that's the White House press briefing room. We'll let you guys know when the hot mic is on. As you guys can see, there's nobody in the room except the tech. The guy in orange that you see right here, he's a tech. He's an audio tech, I believe. I think he's the one that's at fault for last time, the audio being so bad. I think it was him. I think it was this guy. But I could be wrong. But he is a tech of in the White House. So stay tuned. More fake news should be coming in just a few moments. And we'll turn on the hot mic and all that good stuff. So don't forget to share the stream. Click the thumbs up button. We need your help now more than ever before, as we do not come up on search. Look it up for yourself, folks. White House Press Briefing Live. Just type that into the chat, and you'll see that we do not come up. So we need your help sharing the stream. Thank you so much for your help and your support.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. She's a believer.
Yeah, it's a
Definitely a believer. But it doesn't go very long. You know, 25, max 30 minutes. Didn't she go back to the First Lady's office? Right? That's where she came from. She never did.
All right, folks, the hot mic is now on. As you guys can see, the fake news is starting to come in. The hot mic is now on.
All right, go. Yeah, me too. I gotta go. All right. It's all wet to get better. See you back.
Chief Connor. What are you, Connor?
Yes, sir. Yeah. How about a mic check too? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I can probably use it. You want a white bounce suit? She's gonna give us a white bounce. All right, yeah, stand by. White bounce.
Okay.
Very nice.
We can talk about the last session if you did.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sure. Good. Good. need to just.
You don't lose any focal length? No. No stuff, no nothing. Yeah. All right, then. My loyalty goes nowhere. Thank you.
Oh, you really? Oh, no. Okay.
Sorry, I had something.
No, yeah, no, I get it.
All right, folks, I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone that is sharing the live stream on social media. The hot mic is now on, so please share the stream. If you haven't yet, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Reddit. If you share it on Twitter, we'll give you guys a quick shout out as a thank you for your help and your support. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times. If you're new to the channel and you want full coverage of President Trump, every single speech, unlike the other guys that only cover him whenever they feel like it or whenever it's more profitable for them, then make sure that you subscribe and you click that notification bell. We stream everything that has to do with President Trump. No matter how many speeches he's doing one day, we'll cover every single one of them. We are not like the one-trick pony that only focuses on Trump rallies. Trump rallies are awesome, but that's not the only thing the president does throughout the day. So we cover every single one of his pressers, press gaggles, press briefings. When he talks before he boards on Marine One, we cover everything with the president. Not just Trump rallies. We do not just focus on Trump rallies. We focus on everything that the president does on a daily basis. All right, folks, so we have some breaking news. So it looks like we have Joe Biden's campaign releasing a statement to confirm that he will participate in 3 debates with President Trump. Now, Biden has been in hiding for what now, 3 months? No press conference in over a month. I think it's like 75 days, so in a month and, or 2 months. And 15 days, so almost 3 months since he's not given a press conference or an interview or anything like that. The only thing that he's done has been in his basement using Chinese-owned Zoom. And even then, he doesn't know where he is. He's incoherent. You can't even understand what he's talking about. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. And not because not only is he stupid, but also he doesn't know what's going on, folks. That guy is just deteriorating in front of our eyes. Literally every single time he does a Chinese-owned Zoom interview, he looks like he's disoriented, doesn't know where he's at, what he's doing, what he's talking about. According to him, he's running for the Senate. He says, you know what, in my Senate bid, I'm going to do this, this, and this. When in reality, he's running for president. But he doesn't know that. And it's a good thing that he doesn't know that. Because imagine, at one of the debates, he says, Trump isn't fit to run for Senate. That would be hilarious. If he says that Trump isn't fit to run for Senate in 2020. I think that would be the funniest thing ever. And I hope President Trump baits him into actually confusing the Senate for the presidency. I wish he was to do that, because that would be hilarious. I would like to give a big thank you to Mimi White for your help and your all of the super chats, all of the emoji super chats and memberships helps us live stream here on YouTube. So if you'd like to help us continue operation here on YouTube, the best way to help Golden State Times is by sharing the stream and letting Patriots know about us. That we stream everything that has to do with the President, Congress, the Pentagon, and everything else in between that has to do with politics. We stream it all, folks. We would like to give a big thank you to Olaf and Co. for your support sharing the stream. And we also like to welcome you to the chat. All right, folks, so I'd like to give a big thank you to It's Trump Time for your support sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Lina Runfola for your support sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Unhyphenated American, Mimi White, and also Idaho Garden Girl. Thank you so much for your help and your support sharing the stream. Journey 0724 Infinity, thank you so much for your help and your support. Also Greg Williamson, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Ava, thank you so much, Ava, for your help and your support. And Ava says, Jen, do not be discouraged. We believe in you and are grateful for every live stream from the White House or from wherever the president is speaking. Thank you so much for your help and your support. And she says, my household was one of the 100K watching with you, plus the 5 others in the room. So thank you so much for your help and your support, Ava, once again. Thanks so much for the kind words. We don't do this to be on some stupid list from the right or the left. But what did get us angry is that the right refused to count you in the numbers that watched online President Trump's rally. That is the thing that, that got us angry the most, because 100,000 patriots, 200,000 patriots watched it with us, and they refused to count us in. And we know at whose request that was, too. We know 100% who requested us to be taken off of that list or not be added to that list. But, it's one of those things. Thank you so much to Brandon DeLeon for your help and your support. And if you guys are wondering, it was done 100% on purpose. It wasn't done by mistake, or it wasn't done by, oh, we overlooked it, or we saw. No. Someone that we know who it was made a petition so we won't be added to that list. Everyone was there. Every single one was there. Every single person. Network that streamed the president's rally on Saturday was on there. Every single one of them. Except Golden State Times. A lot of Patriots were like, where is OAN? Where is Newsmax? Where is this? Where is that? Newsmax and OAN are on TV. They are not online publications. They are television channels, television news channels. They are not online. Well, they are, but they're not counted as online publications. They were counted as TV publications. So they have a different rating system for them. But when it came to online publications, streaming the president's rally live, we were excluded, and our viewers were excluded and not counted on the total number of viewership for President Trump's rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that was at the request of another channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much to Mike Grimes for your support. And also Berkeley Hunt, thank you so much for your help and your support. We also like to give a big thank you to Olaf, the GST mascot. Thanks so much for your help and your support. We also like to give a big thank you to Cannabis Cuisine for your help and your support. And Cannabis Cuisine says, thank you, GST, for free and fair press. Well, thank you so much for your help and your support. Check them out, folks. Cannabis Cuisine, if it's legal in your state. If it's legal in your state, check them out. Stephen M. Bentz, thanks so much for your help and your support. K-Sai says, Golden State Times, they must have hidden you because I looked to watch it on your live stream and did not come up. I ended up watching it on the DJT channel. You were supposed to be, you were purposely hidden. No, well, that always happens. This live stream that you're watching right now is already hidden. You cannot find it. You can find everybody else. You can find The Hill. You can find Diamond and Silk. You can find failures at RSBN. You can find every single live stream. You can find it right now. Just look it up. White House Press Briefing Live. Look it up. And see if you guys can find us. You can't. You just can't. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Everyone is there. Everyone. I also like to give a big thank you, let's see here, to Mike Grimes. Thanks so much for your help and your support. We'll also like to give a big thank you to DH Marathon Q. Thank you so much for your help and your support, Denise. Pops, thanks so much, Pops, for sharing the stream. The Right Eat Their Own. That is a very good, that's a very good name, because it's exactly what the hell they're doing. All of these stupid talking heads on the right are nothing but garbage. Believe me about that. Remco D, thank you so much for your help and your support, sharing the stream. Hide the Adults, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Polly, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Tom Fitton, thank you so much for sharing the stream on social media. Justin Wynn, thanks so much for your help and your support. Scrappy Doo, thanks so much for your help and your support. Country Girl, Patriots United. And also, we want to give a big thank you to Trump Wins in a Landslide. Thanks so much for your help and your support. Farm Dog, Sandy Acker, Cannabis Cuisine, and also Deplorable Barbie Loves Truth. Anon Casey, thanks so much for your help and your support. Y-Rush, thanks so much. Going Global, thanks so much for your help and your support. Elise Valera, thanks so much for your help. John Henry, Texas. John Henry, Texas, thanks so much for your help and your support. Felton Clark, Rena Ray, and Russell Ashcroft, thanks so much for your help and your support. Also, Willis Jennings, Trump Sandbox, Vic, John Toland, Comey's Soulful Shadow, thanks so much for your help and your support. Andrew, thanks so much, Andrew. Radiant Robin, Bob Carlson, and Cash Eric Larson. Thanks so much for your help and your support. John Porras, The Honey 23, Bob Rujewitz, Shayla Aksher, N2Q stands with a beer, The Happening, Kay Anderson, and also Penny. Thanks so much, Penny, for sharing the stream. Idaho Garden Girl, thanks so much for sharing the stream. Fine Wine Takes Time. The Mirror 1111, thanks so much for your help and your support. Strange Skies. We have Rat Keller, thanks so much, Rat Keller, for your help and your support. Diane Roche, Vinny O, Snoopy, Carolyn Toms, and Journey 07424 Infinity. Thanks so much for your help and your support. We want to give a big shout out to Alan Mills, watching from South Africa. That is awesome, watching from South Africa. We have a lot of Patriots from all over the world. Let us know in the chat if you're watching from any part of the world other than the United States. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We have a Patriot from South Africa. We also see a Patriot from Australia, Patriot from New Zealand. Where else are you guys tuning in from? Sound off in the chat. Someone in the chat says that they're watching from Chaz. That's awesome, I guess, from Chaz. But even though I thought they changed the name to Chop. So let us know, which one is worse, Chop or Chaz? Let us know in the chat. All right, folks, as you guys can see, we have Patriots from Mexico. Mexico, thanks so much for your help and your support. Also, we have Patriots from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. So we got our Latinos for Trump in the house. Let's see, where else? Switzerland, Canada. Let's see, Milan, Italy. That's awesome. Denmark. We see Denmark in the house. We have Belgium in the house. I think that's hilarious. Chaz, someone says Chaz is better. Where else are... Holland, we got someone from Holland in the house. Someone from the UK, okay, UK, we have UK in the house. We have Mexico in the house. That's awesome. Switzerland, Ghana in the house. The Netherlands, and we also have Ireland in the house. Cambodia, we have Cambodia in the house. Cambodian food is good. I like Cambodian food. Let's see, Ireland. In Germany, we see Scotland, we see Chaz. Patriots tuning in from Chaz. It's all right, Patriots. Put it loud. If you're in Chaz right now, put it loud to trigger everybody around you. All right, folks, so now it's time. Wherever you're watching from in the United States, give a shout out to your city or to your state or to both if you want. But give a shout out, sound off in the chat, Patriots. Where are you tuning in from? We are here in the state of California. It's getting pretty bad here in California, but we will not stop the fight because we're trying to make California great again. Patriots are trying to make California great again, believe me. Millions of Californians are sick and tired of what is going on here in California, and they're ready for change. That's a very good thing. So don't write off California just yet, but give a shout out to your city or to your state where you're tuning in from. Sound off in the chat.
Okay, let's just think about
All right, folks, so a lot of Patriots have been asking us about switching over to Parler or doing Parler, opening up an account or whatever. We're definitely going to do that. On the next live stream, we will give you the link to our Parler so you guys can follow us. We haven't been on there. I haven't even looked up what the website is all about. I've just heard of it from different Patriots. I still haven't been able to go over to the website and check it out. But we will do that. We will make an account. And we'll put the link to it in the description on the following live stream in the near future. So stay tuned for that, and we'll look into it. All right, so it looks like we have Accident Prone Racing League is from Fallbrook, California. Fallbrook is very interesting. If you do not know where Fallbrook is, it's in Southern California. It's close to San Diego, but it's like really hidden. It's like very, very into the mountains. It's like very hidden. It's a very small town, but it's nice. It's a nice place. I've been there a couple times, Fallbrook, California. All right, folks, so we have San Bernardino in the house. If you're in the great state of California, give a shout out to your city. Let Patriots know here on the chat that California is not that far gone.
2-minute warning.
Oh, here we go, folks. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. All right, folks, here we go. 2-minute warning. We would like to give a big thank you to Mr. Extravagangsta. Mr. Extravagangsta, that's awesome. Thanks so much for your help and your support through Super Chat. All right, folks, give me a second here. Give me a second. You have to fix this before it actually... All right, here we go, folks. We would like to give a big thank you here to, I hope I said this right, Puka Ja 917. Puka Ja 917. Thanks so much for your support through Super Chat. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. This past Father's Day weekend, we saw violence across the country, but we saw scant media coverage of this violence. Let's be clear here. These states are responsible for policing their streets. The governors, the mayors are responsible for ensuring that our streets are safe, that the American people are protected. And what we have seen is in far too many Democrat-run states and Democrat-run cities, we have seen violence and chaos and nothing like the law and order that we saw here in D.C. when President Trump stepped in and surged the National Guard. In Chicago, for instance, we saw over 100 people were shot and 14 tragically killed, including a 3-year-old was among the victims. And one local news outlet tragically reported that multiple teenagers were killed in Chicago this weekend as well. In Minneapolis, 11 people were shot and 1 person killed. One individual was a father of 2 who worked as a barber, and our hearts break for this family. Also in Democrat-run New York City, we saw that the New York Post reported that there was 1 shooting per hour this Saturday, absolutely inexcusable, with 24 people shot on Saturday alone. And then in Democrat-run Seattle, we've seen the autonomous zone, otherwise known as CHOP, C-H-O-P. 1 person was shot and killed in this autonomous zone run by radical anarchists. And also, we saw another shooting there yesterday as well. And Democrat mayor of the city called CHOP, quote, the summer of love. But it has been nothing of the sort, clearly, with 2 individuals shot, 1 person shot and killed. It is the responsibility of governors to protect their states, to police their streets. The police power rests at the state level. And we expect mayors to step up and to do their job, and governors to step up and do their job in the mold of President Trump, who secured D.C. after a night of lawlessness 2 weeks ago. Finally, the defund police movement is misguided. It will only hurt the vulnerable citizens of American cities the most. It's sad and it is shameful. And with that, I'll take questions. Yes.
Kayleigh, thank you. Has the president actually directed officials to slow down the rate of coronavirus testing?
No, he has not directed that. And in fact, I would note that first, we continue to test about 500,000 per day, about 500,000 people per day. $1.8 billion is invested in NIH to find new testing capabilities. Any suggestion that testing has been curtailed is not rooted in fact. And yeah, I would just note the extraordinary efforts of this administration, more than at this point, 26.7 million tests, and we should be north of that.
When he said Saturday that he told his people to slow it down, what did he mean by that?
The president was trying to expose what the media oftentimes does is they ignore the fact that the United States has more cases because we have more testing. We are leading the world in testing, and he was pointing that out, that it's a fact that the media readily ignores.
What he's saying that he told his people to slow down testing is not true?
It was a comment that he made in jest. It's a comment that he made in passing, specifically with regard to the media coverage and pointing out the fact that the media never acknowledges that we have more cases because when you test more people, you find more cases.
Is it appropriate to joke about coronavirus when 120,000 people have died?
He was not joking about coronavirus. I just said he was joking about the media and their failure to understand the fact that when you test more, you also find more cases.
Kayleigh, thanks so much. To follow up on that, has the president ever delayed the allocation of federal funding that's already been dedicated to national testing?
No, on the contrary, the president has led the way to make us the leading country in the world on testing. In fact, the FDA has authorized 144 tests under EUA's emergency use authorizations. These include 122 molecular tests, 21 antibody tests, 1 antigen test, and the president has led the way in making us the world's leader with regard to testing.
The administration sitting on about $14 billion of funds that have been approved but not yet allocated.
Well, I just mentioned the $1.8 billion at NIH that's there, and we're exploring new testing. We're leading the world in testing, and we will continue to do so.
I have a question of my own. Last July, President Trump declared himself the least racist person there is anywhere in the world. Why does he use racist phrases like the Kung flu?
The president doesn't. What the president does do is point to the fact that the origin of the virus is China. It's a fair thing to point out as China tries to ridiculously rewrite history, ridiculously blame the coronavirus on American soldiers. This is what China's trying to do. And what President Trump is saying, no, China, I will label this virus for its place of origin.
That's what he's saying by using the racist phrase Kung flu?
He is linking it to its place of origin.
What does he have to say to Asian Americans who are deeply offended and worried that his use will lead to further attacks of discrimination?
So the president has said very clearly it's important that we totally protect our Asian community in the U.S. and all around the world. They're amazing people, and the spreading of the virus is not their fault in any way, shape, or form. They're working closely with us to get rid of it. We will prevail together. It's very important. So it's not a discussion about Asian Americans, who the president values and prizes as citizens of this great country. It is an indictment of China for letting this virus get here. And I would also point out that the media blames President Trump for using the terms China virus and Wuhan virus when they themselves have used these very terms. The New York Times called it the Chinese coronavirus, Reuters the Chinese virus, CNN the Chinese coronavirus on January 20th, Washington Post January 21st, Chinese coronavirus, and I have more than a dozen other examples.
Separate category, Kayleigh. Kung flu is extremely offensive to many people in the Asian American community. To be clear, are you saying the White House does not believe it is racist?
To be clear, I think the media is trying to play games with the terminology of this virus, where the focus should be on the fact that China let this out of their country. The same phrase that the media roundly now condemns has been used by the media. I can go more examples. Wuhan virus, CNN said on January 22nd, and we can go on and on and on. So while the media wants to focus on nomenclature, the president's going to focus on action. Yes.
Kayleigh, the president and the attorney general over the weekend offered different explanations behind the firing of Jeffrey Berman, the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. Can you clarify now why Berman was dismissed and if it was at the president's request?
Well, I think that they were very much in sync this weekend, the Attorney General and the President, and here's what happened. The President held Mr. Clayton in very high regard, wanted to nominate him to this position in SDNY to keep him in the government as he returns to New York. Barr was working on a smooth transition, and when Berman chose to respond in the way that he did, he came to the President, and the President agreed and fired this individual, Mr. Berman, as Mr. Clayton now will, in time, get to that position.
Why was Mr. Berman being dismissed in the first place?
Because Mr. Clayton wanted to go back to New York City. We wanted to keep him in government, and therefore he was given the position at SDNY.
But why did the president, I have two questions, but why did the president say he wasn't involved in the firing of Jeff Berman when the Attorney General said the president was the one who fired him?
Because the Attorney General was taking the lead on this matter. He did come to the President and report to him when Mr. Berman decided not to leave. And at that point is when the President agreed with the decision of the Attorney General and to fire Mr. Berman and to promote Mr. Clayton.
So he was involved in it then?
He was involved in a sign-off capacity. He was not, AG Barr was leading the way, but in a sign-off capacity, yes, the President was.
So my second question on testing is, you said the President made that comment and said yes about the President was the one who fired him.
Because the Attorney General was taking the lead on this matter. He did come to the President and report to him when Mr. Berman decided not to leave, and at that point is when the President agreed with the decision of the Attorney General and to fire Mr. Berman and to promote Mr. Clayton.
So he was involved in it then?
He was involved in a sign-off capacity. He was not, AG Barr was leading the way, but in a sign-off capacity, yes, the President was.
So my second question on testing is, you said the President made that comment in jest about having people slow down the testing. The Vice President just said that it was made in passing. Pierre Navarro said it was tongue-in-cheek. But when the President himself was just asked by a reporter like an hour ago, he did not say that he was just joking when he said that he told officials to slow down the testing.
The President instead used that opportunity to extol the fact that we've done more than 25 million tests, that we're finding more people because we're doing more testing. And I would note that what the Vice President said and Peter Navarro, whether it's in jest, in passing, or tongue-in-cheek, those are all synonymous.
Well, why is that
yes,
funny?
Justin.
And I just want to note, to follow up on BJ, you don't even have to answer this. The media has never called it the Kung flu. Calling it the Chinese coronavirus and calling it the Kung flu are very
The
different
media,
things.
the media and your network specifically,
CNN called it the Kung Flu.
the media and your network specifically have repeatedly used the term China virus and Wuhan virus, and then gone on to deride the president as somehow using a term that they themselves have never used. So we can go
It's
through
not a
CNN's
medical
history.
term, Kayleigh.
I'd
You
be
know
more than
that.
happy to go through CNN's history. On February 9th, you guys talked about the Wuhan coronavirus. On January 23rd, you guys talked about the Wuhan coronavirus. On January 22nd, the Wuhan virus. I can write it all out for you
It's calling it the
and detail
Kung
it for you in an
Flu,
email.
though, Kayleigh.
Yes,
You've got to
Justin.
admit that. It is not the same thing as calling it the
Yes,
Kung
Justin.
Flu.
I first want to just follow on what you were just talking about with Berman. So obviously the president made the decision to nominate Clayton for the job, and that led to the sort of kerfuffle that we saw over the weekend. But there's this decision to remove Berman from the post before Clayton was nominated, or before Clayton was either nominated or, more importantly, confirmed. And so I think the question is, why did you take the acting U.S. attorney out of his job before there was a Senate confirmed replacement?
Because there's an intent to put Clayton there, and so there will be an interim individual, an acting attorney, as we work to get Mr. Clayton in that position.
Yeah, but I guess the question is, why didn't he continue in his position until Clayton was confirmed?
Because we are hopeful that Clayton will be confirmed. We're not leaving him there. We're putting an interim person in place. No investigation will be affected by this, as was made clear by Attorney General Barr.
All right, then,
Yes,
sorry,
Steve.
I wanted to ask about the president over the weekend said that he didn't impose sanctions on China over the Uyghur internment camps because he was worried about his ability to negotiate the trade deal. But since the trade deal was signed in January, China, as you mentioned earlier, not only has acted in ways that you frustrated with on coronavirus, but the president has announced their behavior in Hong Kong, and they've failed to live up to many of the tenets of the trade deal itself. At the same time, the president signed an executive order on international religious liberty. So I'm wondering when, if ever, is the president actually going to sanction Chinese officials under either the original legislation or the legislation he signed last week?
So I'll get an update for you on that, but what I will say so far is, and you noted this in your question, that he signed legislation to hold China accountable for the treatment, for their treatment of the Uyghurs and other minorities in China. But he also previously has imposed visa restrictions on Chinese officials for roles in China's treatment of Uyghurs and other minorities. He's blacklisted companies that were complicit in China's treatment. He has taken strong action, but I will get back to you on that. Yes, Steve.
Is the president happy with the size of the crowd in Tulsa?
The president was very pleased with the rally. I was with him, and I just have to say, these media reports that he was somehow furious on the plane, there is no grounding in fact to that. I was with him on Marine One on the way there, on Marine One after. He was very, very pleased with how the rally went, and the media reporting on this prompted me to go around and ask some of my colleagues if they saw something different. And I spoke with Dan Scavino, who was in the Beast with the president right after the rally, and said he was very energized, having been around the American people. So he's quite pleased with how the rally went. And even a political pundit wrote to him that it was one of the all-time great speeches they'd ever heard. We saw him expose his own humanity when he described the wonderful West Point story. The speech made his message so clear and compelling that no one could possibly have missed it, and it was so great to be out of the swamp and in the country. And those comments are how the president feels too.
And are you going to make any changes to these events, like have more outdoor events where people aren't clumped together, or what's been contemplated?
So on the note of future rallies, I'd refer you to the campaign. Yes.
Thanks so much, Kayleigh. I wanted to ask on the coronavirus, who is the most senior person at this time who is focused full-time on coronavirus with no other duties, simply coronavirus? Who would that person be, and what type of authority does this person have to spend U.S. resources?
So in the Trump administration, we're quite good at doing two things at once. We're expected to do many things at one time. The vice president is continuing to lead the task force. They meet regularly. Dr. Fauci is there. Dr. Birx is there. Dr. Redfield is there. They're regularly talking to governors. They had a governor's call today. The president is regularly briefed about the state of coronavirus and is regularly involved in decision making as we move forward.
Is there a specific person who is focused on this full-time with no other duties?
A lot of people are focused on this full-time.
The most senior person, who would that be?
Dr. Redfield, Dr. Birx, Dr. Fauci, all of our experts are involved. The vice president leads the task force each and every day, but We do many things at once in this administration, and we've done quite a good job with coronavirus. And it's we're pleased to see that it's a tragedy anytime a life is lost to coronavirus, but we are pleased to see that yesterday, for the first time, there were under 300 fatalities. So we are trending in the right direction. We're aware when there arises here and there, and those embers, we are equipped to go in, to handle, to put out, and to save as many lives as possible. And thanks to President Trump, could have lost 3 million lives, but we lost far fewer because President Trump took action early.
Yes. Kayleigh, two on Venezuela, but first I just wanted to follow up very quickly on Weisha's question and Caitlin's follow-up. Does the president regret using the term Kung Flu, regardless of the fact that media organizations, including my own, had early on described the virus as the Wuhan virus? That is a different thing than saying Kung Flu. Does the president regret using that term?
The president never regrets putting the onus back on China, pointing out that China is responsible for this, and in the process standing up for U.S. troops who are being blamed by China in a campaign of misinformation.
And on Venezuela, who does the president consider to be the legitimate leader of Venezuela? And is he still interested in any form in meeting with President Nicolás Maduro?
Yeah, I'm very glad you asked this question. The president tweeted today that unlike the radical left, I will always stand against socialism and with the people of Venezuela. My administration has always stood on the side of freedom and liberty and against the oppressive Maduro regime. Nothing has changed. He continues to recognize Juan Guaido as the leader of Venezuela.
Does he reject the characterization in John Bolton's book that he once said it would be cool to invade Venezuela?
John Bolton has completely discredited himself. Multiple senior administration officials are on the record exposing his lies, and even the media seems to have taken note of John Bolton and how ridiculous some of the things he said. The reviews that his book has gotten have been rightly right on in the media. The media has said that this book is exceedingly tedious and slightly unhinged, bloated with self-importance. That was the New York Times. The New Yorker said he takes an inflated view of himself and a willingness to blame others for just about everything. The Federalist talked about the numerous serious factual flaws which have been underlined as being false by Pompeo, Lighthizer, and others who have all come out and said that this book is full of mistruths about themselves and about others in this administration, and certainly about the president.
Does he claim that that was untrue then?
Yes.
Kayleigh, thank you very much. I wanted to go back to the SDNY and Berman. Was Jeffrey Berman fired because of investigations that he had overseen into President Trump's associates, including Rudy Giuliani and Michael Cohen? Was he fired because he had overseen those investigations?
No, he was not. And as I noted earlier, and AG Barr noted, this will not disrupt the cases being handled by the district, which will proceed as normal.
But is the president of the White House not at least concerned about the appearance of impropriety in the firing, given that those cases were being handled in his office?
The administration has very clearly outlined the reason that he is leaving, and it is because Mr. Clayton will be moved into that role. Morgan.
Thanks, Kayleigh. Is the White House concerned about the fact that coronavirus cases are now rising on a national basis after having plateaued, and does that require any new federal action?
I think it's a very important question you're asking, and what I would note is the fatality numbers. We're pleased to see that number coming down. I would also point out that Dr. Birx said to me that a higher number of these cases are less severe cases per positive than at the beginning of this pandemic, because what's happening is because of our extraordinary work with testing, we're able to identify cases in the community before they develop symptoms and are in a hospital. So instead of identifying cases in hospitals, we're identifying them in the community, which is a really good and positive development, and we are equipped to handle when we see these embers that have occurred. Yamish.
Hi, thanks, Kayleigh. I have two quick questions. The first is on the president has attacked the move to remove Confederate statues across the country. He said that it was an assault on, quote, our heritage. What does the White House and the president say to Americans who find it offensive to glorify people who owned other Americans, including enslaved African Americans?
So I would note on statues that what we're seeing across the country is really quite confusing, because you're seeing statues deface like Gandhi's statue defaced and Ulysses S. Grant's statues
Confederate statues.
defaced and abolitionist Matthias Baldwin's statue defaced. At the same
Confederate
time,
statues.
we're being told that George Washington's statue needs to come down and Thomas Jefferson's statue needs to come down. Where do you draw the line, from Gandhi all the way to George Washington? And it seems the American people very much agree with the president on this, on not bringing down these statues. Less than a third of those polled, according to Morning Consult, think these statues should be taken down. 61% oppose it, according to Marist. 62% according to Marist. So I would point that out, and I would say that when people watch these statue defacements and the beheading of some of these statues like Christopher Columbus, where do you draw the line? Because apparently the line goes all the way to Gandhi.
So this week,
Yes.
and then my second question is, going back to the issue of Kung Flu, I spoke to Kellyanne Conway in March. She said that it was highly offensive and wrong to use that term. Does the president agree with Kellyanne Conway, or is he now saying that that term is not highly offensive and wrong? Because again, that was Kellyanne Conway's own words saying Kung Flu is wrong.
The president does not believe it's offensive to note that this virus came from China and to stand up for our U.S. military, who China is making an active effort to completely defame, and that is unacceptable to the president.
You're okay with again, just to go back to what I said to Kellyanne, as I said to Kellyanne Conway, she said that it was wrong and offensive. Are you saying that she was wrong to say that?
Chanel.
Are you saying that she was wrong to say
On
that?
John Bolton and his book, if he goes unprosecuted, does the administration feel that this would set, or does it fear that this would set a precedent or embolden public servants to violate their oaths to this nation for political purposes?
Absolutely, that's a concern. Look, the information in John Bolton's book was classified information as confirmed by the most senior national security and intelligence officials. And look, you have NSA Director Nakasone saying that this could cause permanent loss of a valuable source, intelligence source, and damage to the U.S. intelligence system. DNI Radcliffe saying virtually the same. You have another government official saying the unauthorized disclosure of this information could reasonably be expected to enable foreign threat actors. This is the seriousness with which we look at this book, and the NSC looks at this book as they scan it for classified information. There's real damage that can be done. And for what? For self-promotion and publicity of a failed NSA director.
On Venezuela also, could I ask about Maduro and Guaido? Why has President Trump seemed to have lost confidence in Juan Guaido?
He has not lost confidence at all. And that tweet that I read to you very clearly says that the president put out this morning. We stand with the Venezuelan people in their fight for freedom. And I would also note how tough this president has been on Maduro by recognizing Juan Guaido. And when you compare that to the Obama-Biden administration, you had the former Vice President Joe Biden, who actually met with the Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro and complimented his hair, according to Yahoo News. If I had your hair, I'd be president of the United States, the former vice president said. And also the Obama State Department helped stabilize the Maduro regime by blocking sanctions, according to a 2017 Miami Herald report. So when you compare the actions of this president, we've stood against socialism and on the side of freedom. And finally, one thing that I just want to point out that was handed to me, wow, a whopping 7.7 million total viewers tuned into Fox News to watch the rally on Saturday night. Big numbers. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us and choosing us as your stream of choice. If you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe and click that notification bell, because we cover the president fairly and completely 24/7, 365, unlike other channels that only cover Trump rallies. We are not a one-trick pony, so we cover the president no matter where he is, what time he's speaking, or what he is doing, whether a presser, a press gaggle, press briefing, speech, anything else like that. We cover President Trump fairly and completely, 365, 24/7. So if that's the type of coverage that you like, then subscribe and click that notification bell, and hopefully YouTube notifies you. But if you want to get notified 100% of the time, all you have to do is send the word Trump Live to the number 555-888, and you'll get notified 100% of the time compared to 10% of the time with YouTube. Once again, text the word Trump Live to the number 555-888, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times. All right, folks, so if you missed the White House press briefing, we are uploading it onto the channel right now. If you came in halfway, towards the end, or anything like that, we are uploading the press briefing onto the channel right now. Thank you so much to everyone that helped us out through Super Chat and also through PayPal. Thank you so much for your help and your support. And let's see here. We would like to give a big thank you to Thin. Thank you so much, Thin, for your support through PayPal donation. Thank you so much for your help and your support. That's what helps us live stream here on YouTube. I also want to give a big thank you to the moderators for keeping the chat clean and enjoyable for everyone. Thank you so much, folks, and we'll see you very soon. We would like to give a big thank you to Humanity. Thank you so much, Humanity, for your help and your support through Super Chat. Thank you so much for helping us live stream here on YouTube. All right, folks, so the video has been uploaded onto the channel. So we encourage you guys to go and check it out. That helps us out a lot. So if you can do that, just click on the link that I'm putting in the chat or go and check it out on our main channel. So I'll put the link to it in the chat right now so you guys can go and check it out in case you missed it. All right, here we go. So this is the link to the video in case you guys missed it. Let us know if you guys got notified by YouTube for the upload of that video. Let us know in the chat. All right, folks, thank you so much for being the best part of Golden State Times. We hope that you guys got notified by YouTube. If you didn't, click on the link that I'm putting in the chat. That way you guys can go and check out the video. Also give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. That way Patriots can check it out if they missed it. It helps everyone out very much. Thank you so much for your help and your support, and we'll see you soon. Peace.